two goes at staying under 90, and both of them have failed. Okay, so right now we're at the top of the consolidation. So I believe that the next level that we're going to see on the euro pound is at least the 91.30 to 91.40 level. So it's a fairly good reward to risk ratio if you stick your stop loss underneath the low from last week, and if you were to buy on a break of this consolidation, then you're risking about maybe 90 pips or so, and we've got about 80 pips of upside, so it's almost 1-to-1. And then beyond that, I think that if you look at the longer term view for the euro pound, if we get to break that 91.40 level, then we're going up to maybe 93 or so. So it doesn't look too bad to get in here. I was watching this consolidation at the 91.40 level. This is where I expected it to go higher, and it failed. But the good thing about that is, whilst it's a lower high, we actually have a higher low here that's been formed by the last 2 weeks of price action. So that's the first chart that I'm looking at for potential upside and a trade. I am, for the most part, I'm not a huge fan of the majors right now, because I feel like the majors have been consolidating for the last couple of weeks, with one exception, which is the US dollar yen. I think the US dollar yen has got some promise. And just quickly, I guess skipping over to the US dollar yen, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. We've got a lower low and a lower high there. Friday's price action was pretty encouraging for the US dollar yen bears. But what is more interesting for me than the US dollar yen is this, and this is the New Zealand dollar yen. Now we're looking at a weekly chart here of the Kiwi yen, and so what's going on there is we've had some rejections of this trend line. Look, this trend line started in 2017. It's had several touches, and we tried to break through it a couple of weeks ago. We failed to break through it, and I think this is a very, very significant failure here, because we tried to make a higher high and failed. We tried to break through the trend line and failed. And the next 3 weeks has been consolidating price action, but with a bearish tone to it. Look, my charts are really clean here. All I've got on my charts are the trend lines, the significant horizontal levels, and the 200-day moving average. But if you go down to New Zealand yen daily chart, again, I've marked out the region of consolidation there, and I hope you can see that there's a bit of a bearish bias going on here, especially Thursday and Friday. So again, I'm looking at, on a break of this level here, which is about 69.60 with a stop loss above. First stop is the 200-day moving average, but I think that it's not going to hold price for too long. I've got a more medium-term downside target here on the Kiwi yen of around about 66, and again, that's an important psychological level, and a pretty good level of previous resistance. So that should be a nice magnet for price to come down to when we see price continue lower here. New Zealand dollar, a bit soft coming out of last week. Yen looking a little bit encouraging, a little bit strong coming out of Friday. So I think the New Zealand dollar yen might be a nice downside play. So those are the two charts that I'm going to be looking at most keenly over the next couple of days, with a view to getting into a trade. The other more conservative trade that you could consider on the New Zealand yen is wait for it to bounce off the 200-day moving average. Wait for it to come back up and test the bottom of the box there, which is about 69.70, and then look to take a more deeper downside movement. Any questions for me on these charts?
We've got one in the box. PH on Euro GBP. Pierre, what's your view on the virus rising again in Europe? Will that have an impact on the short term?
Okay, just a second. Let me just pull up that pull up the chat box. What's your view on the virus rising again in Europe and an impact of the short term? I'm not a fundamentalist, and I don't try to interpret fundamentals in my charts. I'm purely a technician. So I'm following the coronavirus in Australia and Singapore, and that's taking enough of my time to follow it all over the world. So, but for me, the job has always been the same job as it's always been. I look at my charts, I look for price action and look at the other indicators that I use, and then I place my trades based on that. So, sorry, I can't answer the question on coronavirus.
Ravinda, can you just drop me a date when we can talk? Look, I got a few questions for you, PH. I was just working on the live stream, which by coincidence has started working. It will have nothing to do with what I was doing, I would imagine. But by some level of coincidence, we do have the live stream working. We are on Facebook, Actions to Wealth, Facebook OTP, and YouTube. We've got new social media shows starting, which I'll talk about in a little while. But first of all, mate, I did miss a little bit of this. The two charts, the first chart was
first chart euro pound here.
Euro pound, yeah.
Yep, looking for a bit of upside after we failed to head lower here. We've made a higher low, and we've got some really nice price action coming out of last week. So I'm saying the first initial target of 91.35, and then beyond that, then the next target would be up here at around maybe 93 or so. Yeah, so there's about 250 pips on offer there for the patient. I think it's going to eventually break out of this consolidation to the upside.
Mate, we got what was the other one?
Kiwi yen. So New Zealand dollar a bit soft over the last week or two. It's consolidating with a bearish bias, and the US dollar yen looks like it possibly could start heading lower again after making a lower high on Thursday and Friday. So I'm looking at playing the yen strength against the New Zealand dollar weakness here and taking this. We've definitely got a lower high in here on the Kiwi. It's just been running along the 70 level, but it's closed below the 70 level, and I think it's got further downside.
Cheers, PH. Thank you very much for that. Look, for the first time in our entire history, we are running early on the original show of TTR. After 7 or 8 years, Geoff Wheel in the background going, my God, you're kidding, right? But we are running early, and we are packed up. We have got people watching us on Facebook, on Actions to Wealth, Facebook on Online Trading Profits, Facebook for Poor Bottrell Trading, and YouTube. It's crazy. It is crazy. Welcome all, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you've got any questions, let us know. We'll try and answer them for you. PH, do you have... look, interesting. Both the charts that you're showing seem to show a little bit of rangey type stuff at the moment. Are we looking for some price generally starting to break out of some of these ranges?
Oh, that's what I'm anticipating, Paul. And I just mentioned, look, if you wanted to get into this earlier rather than later, you could just take it on a break of around about 69.70 or 69.65 with a stop loss above the top of the box here, maybe 70.75. So about 100 pips we're risking. Or you could wait until it breaks down and anticipate a bounce there off the 200, wait for a lower high, bouncing off the 200, and then take the second move down, which I think may go as low as 66.
Nice, mate. I'm short Kiwi yen on the new little fund strategy we talked about in the meeting during the week, where we are using S1 and R1 on the weekly for direction. I'm Kiwi yen and up a percent or so on that at the moment. I took the little break or bounce on the pivot on the hourly chart. Actually, I think from memory, and tracking along on that. Quite liking that little new thing to have a muck around with. But we're going to move along. Go to Julian, our guest, and. Look, coming up, as I understand it, we should have space for guests. We're a little bit early for that, which is always nice. Then we're going to have team discussion on euro, dollar, and dollar yen. And we'll do Ping Nee and then Ainsley for Gone Gold. But Ainsley's not in, so might keep Julian around and do his cuts, and then we might have a chat on gold before we do dollar, yen, and euro dollar, and go from there. Mate, thanks very much. I really like your course. It's nice and concise as always. I think as well, not the mainstream stuff. Something that you find your own stuff, which I really like. Thanks for coming along and sharing. Hope you're going to stay for the talk on euro dollar and dollar yen.
Yeah, I'll be around. Thanks a lot, Paul. Good to be on the show.
Cheers, mate. We'll talk to you again. We'll have you back hosting in about or sharing the lead in about 5 weeks, I think, from memory. We'll go back through that. Julian, how you doing? Julian, I think you've got to unmute.
I have got it on mute. I was just reaching for the mute button, Paul. It takes me a couple of seconds as I get a little bit older to find that mute button these days.
Mate, as long as you can still find it, it's all okay, right? As long as you can still find everything you need to find, it's all okay. When you start getting confused with other things, that's when life becomes a little more challenging. But for now, it's all good. Rugged old week on that front for a few of our team, actually. A few of the team got some elderly folks struggling a little bit, but that's a different story. Mate, I was on I get all over the place. I'm trying to sort out streams and guests and run a show. It's all going on. But I spoke to you earlier today, and me and Ash were chatting, and you said, said, guys, just calm down. It's all okay. And is that your sentiment, that really it's all okay?
Yeah, look, I think it's summertime, and strange things happen in summertime. There's a couple of market setups that I think are really interesting, and I think worthy of note here. My overall thematic that I've got going on at the moment is I think that gold's got a bit more of a corrective move to go. I believe the euro and probably the Swiss franc are going to go down a little bit against the US dollar. So we were a little bit bearish against the US dollar last week. I don't think I've really changed my mind around that thematically. And I did express my frustration last week. We hadn't got to 120. Hopefully that might not happen as well, because the euro is starting to set up with a lower high, and there's some opportunities there, I think, coming up over the course of the next couple of days that could be quite interesting. Also,
I'm gonna butt in on a couple of things. I do apologise, Julian. I interrupt you far more than I mean to. Would you like me to share screen for you and share some charts?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I also, just while I'm doing this, because we're about to lose Ravinda. He's off for ear surgery. Good luck to you, mate. I hope it all goes incredibly well. And also just want to call out to Wen Long and Rob in Scotland. Congratulations on the birth of both your children this week. I think maybe both daughters from memory. I could be wrong, but congratulations, guys. Always nice to have some good news inside the team. Now I see your screen. We might get back settled in and talk about some trading stuff. Hey, mate. Which chart would you like, Julian?
So why don't we just start with gold a little bit, Paul, and have a look at that. So overall with gold, it's really interesting. In these type of blow-off environments that we've had for the last 2 or 3 months that have been going on, I think it's quite interesting to look at what the averages are. So when I look at gold and you look back at the average length of time that if like these blow-off phases last for, they tend to last for just over a couple of months, and the corrective phase, when it does come against that, it can still be a bull market, right? But the corrective phase when it comes is normally about 20%. So in the back of my mind, I've got a little bit more room to the downside in gold before this correction is fully finished. Puts us a little bit lower, risking down to the 1700 level, but possibly we won't get anywhere near that far. So when I think about gold and I think about the way in which it's behaving, it's over-owned. When I hear anecdotes about people giving up foreign exchange trading for everybody to trade gold, and you look at the commitment of traders, everybody's long. Has any of this sell-off we had last week changed anybody's mind? I think the answer to that is probably no. It didn't change anybody's mind at all. And I think that's the key thing, right? Nobody who was long of gold has decided to quit yet and say, oh my God, I've made the wrong decision. And in fact, looking at it, with the commitment of traders, there was almost no movement whatsoever last week on the commitment of traders report, despite the fact that gold had an extraordinary movement down. And if you'd like to get crazy, then silver was even worse, right? That lost an incredible amount. So silver did complete, but gold didn't.
Mate, still, you say all this stuff, and when you talk about it, it seems super clear to me. But boy, I thought you had a stunning week on it last week, mate. You came in the show and you picked the pullback, and then you jumped on gold at the bottom and traded it back up to the top, and then jumped out. Guys in your podcast group, we've got a couple of guys learning to trade some of your stuff, sharing some trades on your podcast group who are in the learning phase. They haven't had a great week on there for you, but boy, your stuff's held up, hasn't it?
Yeah. Look, we got quite lucky with the buy, and it sort of got into our target area, and we were fortunate to get a long on, and we managed to get out on the way up. I'm not very greedy with these things. I think we made about $50 or $60 on the trade, which is, it's not special, but it was just good, good trading, I think, in terms of expecting things to happen. It had been a bull market for gold. There's no reason why it was going to keep going down after such a dramatic sell-off on this particular wave. I think we've got another little leg down to go, but I don't know what that's going to do. So that could be quite exciting, and we're looking forward to that next week. Hopefully that'll spin out. And, overall, my sense is with gold overall is that, we've still got a fairly positive backdrop to it at the moment. And again, long term, I'm super bullish. I think we've hardly started this move yet. There's many, many, many hundreds of dollars to go before this is over. But in the meantime, this thing could correct like crazy. And we just need to be conscious that it's two different things. There's trading and there's investing. At the moment, the gold is now a trading market, and it's not an investing market because the movements are too dramatic. So just bear that in mind. Until everybody's thrown up or they've left it, I wouldn't, from an investing standpoint, I wouldn't change my investment position. So that's interesting. Overall, like I said, thematically, I'm also looking for the euro to show a little bit of weakness, euro dollar show a bit of weakness, and the Swiss franc as well too.
As we jump into this, before we have a look at the euro chart, I've got my monthly pivot here and my horizontal level. I've got Thursday's bar there. Are we really looking, if we get below this area here, we're looking to confirm some short stuff on gold, and maybe taking out the top of Thursday's bar might suggest this pullback's over for now?
Yep, I think both of those two things could happen. I still believe with this level of volatility, Paul, that anything could happen. I just don't think that the 1860 area was it. I could be wrong. Look, at the end of the day, we could all be wrong, right? So we got to see it. We'll trade it as we see it. I still think this thing is overowned. What I'd be really disappointed about is if it rallied back to like the 1940, about the $2,000 area again. That would be really, really annoying. I wanted to see some more negative price action before we go and revisit the highs. So that's my basic thesis. If it goes up, it'll be going up without me, and that's always quite frustrating. I am looking to be a buyer, but I just need the market to trade down a little bit more in the interim. And look, and there's if that's the Fusion account there, Paul, could you put the XNG up, the natural gas, while we're looking at charts?
XNG, look at that, buddy. Fusion, we got natural gas for it. Look at that.
Right.
You've been on that as well.
Okay. So I just want to talk you through why this is important. This is, if you could just expand that a little bit on the daily to go back a little bit further. This is a classic sentiment cycle trade. But this doesn't get any better than this, right? You can see coming into it that we're moving from the top left to the bottom right, and it's going down, right? So the overall movement is down. At about the middle of the chart, Paul, we put what we consider to be the close to the last bottom in place. Then we rally back up again over the course of 3 or 4 waves, and that's pretty clear to see. What we then do is we then work our way down to a new low.
Sorry, mate, I'm trying to get to the questions on the other version of this, and of course, just because I'm having one of those days, the mouse isn't working, so I'm not able. There we go. That was better for getting some questions. I just want to make sure I'm not missing the questions as we go, because there's a bunch of them coming in.
There you go. I'll maybe have a quick look at those as I go through.
Cool, mate. Thank you.
Nothing
goes friends and privilege. There we go. Nothing major here for you. So you're talking about the sentiment cycle, Julian?
Yeah. So on this, so that low there that you're highlighting, that was, if you like, the exhaustion low. Okay. Now what we saw there was that price action. It went literally down for 2 days, right? So we broke to a new low. It was a naked close. So the close was below any of the previous lows. And when we did that, leave that chart exactly there, Paul. It then began to rally back. So positioning wise, as soon as it broke back above not the previous low, but in fact we broke back above the bar that created the breakdown. There in that area, right? That was your first thought about where you want to be long. Why do you want to be long there? Well, because it's gone down, it's had another look. This is an extended sentiment cycle shuffle, right? Whereby it's just thrown out a slightly new low, but hasn't really quite done it, hasn't really quite followed through, right? Then the market rallies back over the course of the next 2 weeks. Then we see this gentle decline back to the higher low, the classic higher low aversion point trade. And then we see the market explode. And we will not see those levels that where your mouse is right now, those old levels down there, we're not going to see those again for some time. Right? Nice. This is about as classic a sentiment cycle trade as you get. Now, I was fortunate to be long actually from the original breakdown about a month ago. And then I added on that higher low. But where I, as usual, as you know, Paul, my biggest weakness is I get out too early. So I sold out about 3 days ago rather than selling out or keeping some positions on board as the market takes off again. But it wasn't exactly a bad trade, and I was quite happy with the amount of money I made out of it. But it was the lesson here is that this is a sentiment cycle shift. Now I've got to think about where I need to get back on board again to try and keep the roller coaster going.
Julian, do you mind if I talk on the chart for a couple of minutes about some stuff that we just talked about inside the organisation recently?
Sure.
Look, I thought I'd talk about these two bottoms, and I talked recently about dollar yen and the inside bar reversals and inside bars that sit in the bottom half of an extended bar, and what a powerful reversal sign they can be, and how no one really picks them up. But for mine, I love that inside bar in there is something I really look for. And then it repeats over here. Solid move down, inside bar sits around halfway, not much past halfway past the bar, and puts you into the next run up. And when I'm talking about the inside bar reversals that I'm talking about, that's really what is really what I'm looking for. A little bit more of a decisive close would be perfect, but that and that are really the inside bars that we're talking about. And just to say, Julian, what you're talking about here for mine, classic trading, right? Get it on the reversal down here on a small position, scale on the higher low on a full position, and you're properly into the move, right? This is really how you should trade reversals if you're going to trade them successfully, right? That was a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally. And look, I look for these sentiment cycle trades all the time. We go through this. For those of you who have been on my listened to my seminars and done the training with me, you know that I focus on these quite a lot because they're really great trend tools, and I use them because when they happen, and they do happen around the place reasonably regularly, it's a colossal sign of a price acceleration to come. And realistically, you were never offside on either of those two trades in any meaningful way.
No, agree, mate. It's it's just it's just unbelievable trading, isn't it? There's your low, there's your higher low, and there's your move, and it's beautiful, mate. In fact, these are the kind of charts that you bring up when you're teaching trading and go, look, this is how it works. It's just a beautiful example, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, these things happen, and I was fortunate enough to be part of that. And I think I did highlight the other day to you about 2 weeks ago that I thought natural gas was a runner, and we did just briefly talk about it. But obviously with these things, right, it's not something that most people who are trading foreign exchange want to get involved in. So what I'm using it as is a teaching aid, because these patterns happen in foreign exchange as well.
And man, I think when you say that, one of the things that we do, we have a lot of our guys with IFS on Singapore dollars. We've got a few now on Fusion on US dollar HW accounts. And one of the advantages of we've just done a promotion where guys could have got a Fusion US dollar account. And one of the advantages of that is you get access to a little more stuff. Fusion does have a lot more of this sort of metals type stuff. And not only that, if you go Fusion Live, you get the crypto. I've asked them not to put the crypto on the HW accounts. I don't want to be at risk on the crypto as a company. But Fusion does have a bit more stuff. On the live accounts, a lot more than what we're even seeing here.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, nice. Like the natural gas trade, gold. I like the call on gold, and really I think, and I will try and sum it up, Julian, it's just my nature, but really we're looking for a little bit of caution on gold at the moment, right? Just a bit of patience.
I think caution is a really key word everywhere this week. I'm really concerned about the stock market after tomorrow, because tomorrow's the third Monday. But I'm really concerned about the stock market after that point for the balance of this week. I really don't see a significant bullish point in the stock market for another week or two coming into Labor Day. So there's not really, for me, a lot going on in stocks, and they are vulnerable. They've been doing incredibly well, but they've got counts now which are all getting to the point of which you're going, okay, how much more value is there in all of these things? And I think it's just like everything else, right? At some point, it's a great idea to be long. At other points, it's a poor idea to have any positions. And I'm just sort of falling into the camp of right now, I'd be a little bit cautious everywhere, especially around equities. I've been saying that now for about 2 weeks, maintaining that view. And we always thought the middle of the month was going to be the tough time for that to happen as well. So that's pretty much it, Paul, for me. You know, I think one of the other interesting markets that I think is on my watch list for this week is dollar CAD. Again, it supports my dollar thesis, but just bear in mind that the price action it's still down, but I think the price action, if you like, is not supporting it anymore. So I've got bullish momentum divergence coming in, and we're at the bottom of a trading range, of a huge, massive trading range. We are at the bottom of it. Maybe we're going to break out to the downside. I don't know. Maybe the Canadian dollar is going to continue to strengthen. I don't know. But right now, I'm just issuing a word of caution about the Canadian dollar.
Yeah, a little bit of some important levels around, aren't there?
Yeah, and it's been doing very well. And I still, you know, I never understand the Canadian dollar. I think it has its own things that it correlates to from time to time. Right now, I'm not sure what it's correlating to. So I don't even try, but I'm just thinking maybe running out of steam here.
Mate, always some talk about correlation between oil and the CAD, isn't there? You know,
totally.
Interesting. Well, yep. Mate, we're going to have a quick chat as a group. I'm going to invite the team in. I'm not sure how many are in the room at the moment, but let me just check on the questions, please. And we've got a couple of typical questions. Look, one of the questions is, do you recommend S&P for tomorrow, Julian?
Well, tomorrow's the third Monday of the month, right? So if you know the trading system, then that's great. If you don't know it, then ask Paul.
Well, you know, and look, here's what I'm going to do tomorrow, and just so you guys know, I'll pick a moment during the day, and I'll buy the S&P twice, and I'll close one on the first profitable close, and I'll keep one open. And I've been doing that for some time now, and I do it on my personal account. I do it. Stop loss isn't really a concern on those positions. I hold the stop loss a fair way away. But you can do it on your personal accounts. You can't do what I'm doing on your HW account, to be fair. But I just let it go. I think we did a little back test on S&P and worked out if you'd followed the system and held the position for 5 years, you're up $50,000, something like that. So you know, it's been a very bull market, so everything's going to be up a little bit on it, you know. But I'll buy the S&P tomorrow, and I'll in all honesty, I know it's a terrible thing for a trader to say, but I'll buy it without looking. I'll buy it, and then I'll know that I've got a 80% chance of it working no matter what. You know,
it actually works very well in bear markets as well too, Paul.
Yeah, look, it's the amount of times that I've gone back, and it's one of the things, Julian, you talk about a lot in your program, and we got some great feedback from Rob on your program this week about how what a difference it's made to us trading. And look, I love seeing those guys that have been with us for a while and coming and gone out, been around for years now, around break even, and they hit you and bang, they're in profit. I love seeing that stuff. Got some great feedback from them about it. But I think one of the things that you talk about a lot in your program is testing, going and looking for yourself and count how many bars gold rallies for. You see that when I asked you about the gold rally today, what did you say to me? Just go back and count the bars for. You know, and it's like, it's such good advice. It's such a simple thing to do. But when I go back and back test the S&P strategy over long periods of time, the amount of times I look at it and go, I'd never buy that. And it goes up that one day and then pulls back the next day. And I go, I've got no idea how it does that, but I'm happy to buy it. And I'll back it tomorrow. And look, if tomorrow it loses and then next time it happens, it won't bother me in the least. I'll still buy it again because the record of it's so good over such a long time. You know?
Yeah, look, and I think it'd be interesting to see where the market opens tomorrow, and especially on Tuesday. So I'd love to see a higher open on Tuesday. That would suit me down to the ground. I think the reporting season's getting pretty much done now. So we've gone from being a micro-related market and traded market into a macro-related trading market, and I just think that there maybe could be a bit of caution around those stocks just for the next 2 or 3 weeks coming up.
We are getting pretty close to those all-time highs, aren't we?
Yeah. Look, that's always a thing. It's where sellers showed up last time. Yep.
And they showed up and meant it too, didn't they? When they showed up last time, they didn't muck around when they showed up.
I can't recall why the market sold off.
Mate, okay, so look, I'm just going to give a quick look at the questions. Will gold be going for a long sell after the retracement? Going for a long sell after the retracement? Look, one of the things that I'd like to touch on, if you don't mind, Julian, before we do anything else, one thing I think you said today I think is really important, right, is you said that you think for gold it's only the start. And, you're not someone who just talks about gold. You're someone who came on the show last week and said it would pull back, put into your broadcast group when it was going to go up and got it right both times. That's one thing I really want to talk about is you're saying that this move has hardly started in your opinion. And that would suggest you think there's some US dollar weakness coming, but that's a different discussion. But what that means for our guys is there's no need to rush.
Yeah.
Wait, totally. Great opportunity.
So please don't be, this is me for being a little confused because sometimes I need to state why, right? So from an investment standpoint, I think gold's going to 2,500, maybe even 3,000. And I think I've been pretty consistent over the course of the last 2 years in talking about those levels in gold. I think we got to 2,000 and I was talking about 2,000. I don't know. I'm going to go with probably about 700 or 800 points ago. But certainly at least 2 years I've been bullish on gold for. And I had that expressed as an investment position in my accounts. And that's the way I like to do things. Now, I've unwound a lot of those investment positions, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm still not bullish on gold. I think when everybody runs to one side of the boat, I've got to be cautious because why wouldn't you be? That doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it works out and most of the times it doesn't though. So when people start to unwind some of their long positions, their short-term long positions in gold, then I'll get interested again. But right now we haven't seen that. I think nobody's unwound anything. Sentiment's still as bullish as it was. And in fact, some people are viewing it another way. They're viewing it as an opportunity to buy more, which is even more incredible, given the fact that we were in a blow-off movement. So, I just think we need a bit of time to take place here. This is a bullish time traditionally for gold, this time of year, especially through late August, early September. But I don't think the seasonals are working quite as well as they normally do this year because of the way in which gold has been behaving. It's sort of done all the things it's needed to have done really, really quickly and way in advance. So there's a difference, right? When I say that and I put it on my broadcast group this week, gold is now for me a trading market, right? It can go down, it can go up a couple of $100, right? That's really painful if you're investing in it because that's a 10% move in the course of almost no time at all, right? Now, if you saw the stock market move up or down by 10%, all hell be breaking loose. So just bear this in mind, right? And there will be times when gold sits there and consolidates and does nothing for a while. That's probably the time to think about another investment position. But for the time being, it's a trader's market. It's short term. It can do anything it wants to, and it probably will do.
Yeah, I mean, this one here is about a 15% pullback, isn't it? And that's not uncommon in gold. These kind of pullbacks are reasonably normal. And you're talking about consolidating for a while. What did it do? It pulled back 15%. It rallied up, and it went straight sideways for a period of time, and then it took off. And these things aren't uncommon in gold, are they? These consolidations are quite common, and these big runs and these big retracements are all part of trading gold. That's why people like Ainslie trade exclusively, I guess, because you sort of get to know it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, Ainslie's a great example of somebody who's been a bit patient and just picks those moments very well.
Yeah, look, I think that's again, great point, Julian. She does. If people forget this about Ainslie, she's not in the market trying to make this kind of money every day. She's in the market from time to time looking for big moves. Mate, we're going to have a team chat about euro dollar and dollar yen, and I thought I might bring up euro dollar. You're welcome to join the team chat. Anyone else in the team going to have a talk about euro dollar for us? Anyone else got a view? Yeah, mate.
Yeah. Look, before I shared my euro pound chart earlier today, I was looking at the euro dollar, and I was looking at the pound US dollar, and I see that there's quite a difference in terms of the recent price action. Euro US dollar definitely looks like it's consolidating right now, and it's at a horizontal level here. So I still think there's an upside bias after the consolidation. I still think it's more likely to break out to the upside than to the downside. But it could just as well, if this continues for much longer, it could just as well come out of the bottom of this and come back down to about the 114 level. It's had a great run up earlier, but it's I think it's going to consolidate for a little bit longer.
PH, I am watching two different things. I'm watching you on the stream and I'm watching you live. Oh no, there we are. That's okay. Oh, okay, mate. So a little bit of consolidation for you. Julian, what's your thoughts on? Anyone else want to jump in? Thoughts on euro dollar? Attendees, any thoughts on euro dollar? So PH, you've got it in this box, right?
Yeah, I do actually, and I got long on Wednesday's bar.
Yep.
Okay, so Thursday morning I took a long trade on it on Wednesday's bar. I think there was a monthly pivot. I think it bounced off the monthly pivot as well, if I'm not wrong.
Let me look. One thing I really like to do, I love looking at charts on blank charts, but sometimes you want to see the stuff that you're looking at when you're looking at it live. So I'll just bring up a straight wave rider chart. So we've got some looks a long way off monthly pivot.
Could be, yeah, you're right. It was a weekly pivot. It was interacting with the weekly pivot, and it was gonna break it if it got into my trade, and that's exactly what happened. But my take profit is just at the top of the recent price action. So I'm not
weekly resistance one type area, PH.
Yeah, because I think the likelihood of retesting that area is very high, and the likelihood of breaking that area is a lot lower. So happy to be free trading it, even though it's consolidating at the moment.
Julian, anyone else? Anyone from the team want to offer an opinion on euro dollar?
Yeah, I've got one.
Great.
I don't know if I'm prepared to share my chart though, because I'm on a very bad connection. But if you go to the monthly chart, please, Paul, and draw a line.
Do you want a blank chart, or do you need some of the stuff on it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you go to the monthly chart, I'll make the point that I've got.
We get your
and you'll need a line at 122.
Sorry, mate, I've got a
and at 116.
And I find it quite tough to. Let me just see if I can go to. No, I'm having some 122, and I can't read it. That's 122, pretty close to there. I'm going to see if I can get hold on to one properties to come up, and I'm going to change the property to black. I don't think I can do anything with font size, can I? There we go. 122.05. Is that close enough, Geoff? Geoff, you are breaking up.
Julie was talking about the sentiment cycle somewhat earlier, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As I said, Julian was talking about the sentiment cycle earlier. That's not a bad indication of it either.
Yep. The big sell comes in, puts on a low, pulls back up.
116. You might need to go a little bit wider on your chart, please.
Yeah, let me see if I can find 116. Guys, sorry about the slowness of this. It's I'm on the Surface Pro, so I can write on the screen, and then I can't see very clearly on it because it's quite small. Oh, nice, mate. Oh, nice. Okay, we're around there. I've got the numbers aren't quite right, but they're pretty close. Is that enough for you, Geoff? You're breaking up in the middle of this call, aren't you? You're coming in and out.
Yeah, if you go just a little bit wider, yeah, it's pretty poor. And yeah, not a lot I can do, I'm afraid. Okay, so you've got to go into dinosaur territory, 203 and 4 to find that level on the monthly chart that, pardon me, is resistance. But if you look at the level we're at, currently, we're pretty much bang on that resistance level. And I think that's the one that Paul was talking about, PH was talking about. And I totally see that as a strong indicator that we're going to have a little bit of retracement here, that level there, a legitimate trend line from the top right through the highs. You'll find a nice confluence headed, but not right now. So as very similar to what PA.
Just expand this out a bit so I can see the current stuff a little bit more. So what you're saying is we're right on
yes, console line, bottom horizontal level.
Sorry, buddy, I'm missing a lot of this. But what you're really saying is we've got a great trend line, got a couple touches here, and this horizontal previous support level being tested, and what you're looking for really is to see a bounce back into down here somewhere.
Yep. That monthly trend line just needs to go up a tad. Because you're cutting through the top of the bone.
Just wonder, I can't quite see how to get that on there any tighter, Geoff. You can come down from there. It's pretty good.
My trend line's completely different.
Okay. But we've still got an area of confluence between a level of resistance and what is basically a resistance trend line. Sorry, yes. Mate, can you hear us?
And
okay?
that confluence for me is at 122.13. Beg your pardon?
Sorry, mate, I've got the confluence here at 118.
Yeah, mine's different. You're on Fusion, I'm on IFS, and monthly charts, I guess, tend to have that little bit of discrepancy. But yeah, I'm bang on.
Okay, well,
which is a horizontal level as well, and that red dollar going.
Okay, mate, I think I've lost you again, haven't I?
That retracement back to that 116. Don't know, mate. I can still hear you, so I really don't know.
What's your current price?
116 to 116.
Okay.
Somewhere between 116 and 116.50, say. That's where we're pulling back to, in my humble opinion. And then we're going to 122.20 or 122.50 or in that vicinity.
Cool. Let me see if I can make this any clearer or not. Again, I'm getting parts of what you're saying. I'm not getting all of what you're saying. But I think what you're saying, I've got the blooming Zoom thing turned up in the middle. What you're looking for here is a bit of a pullback down to this level here, and then a breakthrough up to this level here, right?
Yep, got it.
Great. It's interesting on the monthly chart. It does look a bit different in the bigger picture stuff. Anyone else want to offer any views on it? I'm going to jump back to a daily chart for a second. Anyone else got any views on
I'm probably with Paul on this in the upside for the short term. I think I'm still sitting on last week's opinion of there's a short term euro positive sentiment in the market, and it's going to there's a slightly higher probability that it seems to break up a little bit more before it pulls back. So I'll be on Team Paul Hutton for this one for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for a break up and then a pull back. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Anyone else want to jump in and offer something on this? Look, I'm going to go the other way on it and just say that I'm going to say that I think if we get this level holds, and we get some selling here, then bottom of this bar here, I'd start to be a little bit interested in getting short on this. That we might just be starting to see signs of a top and a lower high forming, and that would interest me to the short side. But I'm also, I get that we've got a horizontal level in this area, and we've just tested it there. Get a break and get a close above it, and I'm with you guys. We're going to pop up a little bit, but I'd be watching pretty carefully on Monday morning for a breakdown through here. And if I got that and I felt that I had got a double top and a lower high, then I'd be prepared to have a little run back down to Geoff's support level down here. Got to unfold for us, doesn't it, before we can have a real decision on it. I do appreciate the input from everybody on it. Anyone else want to have a chat about Euro? Geoff, what was that, sorry? Geoff?
Dollar, and I am talking. I hope you can hear me. US dollar at the moment, I think can go either way. On the US dollar there right now, and it's on its daily bar.
Sorry, mate.
I've got an entry below that.
But I just can't make out what you're talking about. I'm worried. I'm not sure whether everyone else can or not, because people are a lot closer to you than I am. But I'm just getting every second or third word. Are you still on euro dollar, Geoff?
Yes, still on euro dollar and trading with the dollar in anything.
Well, I'm just not sure we're going to.
And I'm avoiding it like the plague. I'd be looking to place an order short under Thursday's bar.
Yep. Looking for a pullback there before you get a run up, right?
The stop loss above the high.
So short here.
Definitely.
Above the high.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Appreciate it. I don't know if we're going to get across from you with charts the way we're going, Geoff. It's pretty hard to make you out for too long at all. Yep. You hear lots of guys.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
As it came out, I appreciate the fact you're trying to get in the show. Look, wonder if the US election will dictate this based on dollar strength weakness. Look, it's quite possible, Rob. I think it is possible. But you mentioned that to Julian earlier on today, and he did say he thought it was a bit early for that at this point. And I think word is that Biden is that Trump's closing up on Biden a little bit. That will bring some interesting stuff to the markets, I do think. Look, I'm running a little bit late. I'm keen to have a chat with Ping Li on oil. Then we will get Lloyd for currency index analysis. I might need to give him some powers, I think. Then we'll see if Geoff can get through his charts, and we will wrap it up. Not 100% sure we're going to get through Geoff's charts. Look, guys, great to see so many of you in the room today. I'm sorry there was problems with the stream. I understand that all the streams are working now, but I do apologise for the lagging and going today. It's great to have you in the room, but also like to have you on the social media side. We will try and keep that working for you. Big week for us ahead on the social media. This week, we start with the tea and the hot sauce at 8 o'clock, Monday to Thursday. That's the tea is Chloe and the hot sauce is Orlando talking charts. Orlando will do the Mondays on his own, and Chloe will join him Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Should be a fascinating market analysis show. Chloe, as you all guys know, Miss Consistency, and Orlando a little more excitable in the world as we get the UK and the South American people together to do an analysis. So that'll be Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m. Singapore time, and then at 8:30, Ash and Geoff will be in to prepare for the US Open before they go to their paid show at 9 o'clock. So We will be live Monday to Thursday from 8 p.m. There'll be a short break between Orlando's program and Geoff's program, and if you can see us live online at the moment, we'll be in those places. We'll be on Facebook, Online Trading Profits, Facebook Access to Wealth, and YouTube as well for that as well. So lots coming, lots of new free content coming your way. So do make sure you make the most of it. I'm really pleased to have that Tuesday evening part really tidied up for you guys. It's something we've been working on for a little while. Ping Lee, are you with us?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Ping Lee. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Great. I'm just going to make Lloyd a host while you're talking. What are we? You're going to be sharing your charts, or do you need some help from me on that today?
I will share my own chart.
Cheers.
All right. So this is the daily chart on XTI. There's a little updates about the fundamental side. So for now, these are quite a crucial region for price, because for the upside, there are the news of COVID vaccines and upcoming US elections. Trump might take further aggressive actions against Iran, so which may push the oil price. So we can anticipate there may be a price break. So for now, we might still be looking to trade between these two horizontal red lines from about 110 pips region. See if the price breaks below or breaks above, we will stay focused on the news, see what might be the causes for that. So for me, for now, the demand for oil is still lacking, even though the recovering of China economy. So I think for now, I will still be trading on the ranging region for oil. Yep, that's it. Hello?
Sorry, Ping Lee. Hi, just doing a bit of work in the background here, mate. So you're saying that we've got a range forming in oil, and you'll be trying to trade it back to daily pivot most days, and if it breaks out, watching the breakdown and break out to see for direction where it settles, right?
Yes.
Fantastic, mate. Was it a solid week last week or a tough week last week?
It's a solid week. For the first 2 weeks of the month, I've been up 20% already.
Nice, mate. Nice.
So for next 2 weeks, I will be trading more cautiously, because this price is getting very tight. Because we can see from the daily chart, it has been impulsive recovering, and after that becomes steady increasing in price. And when we reach this region where the price is getting tighter, this dropping below 100 pips per day. So I'm anticipating a very impulsive move coming soon. So maybe very tight on the stop loss from now on. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, mate. I like all of that. Just had someone ask if we can do a broadcast group for you. I'm not sure we can. We've got lots of broadcast groups, but I'm having a chat with you Monday, Tuesday, Ping Lee, about some other stuff. We'll talk then. Mate, I like this. And so you're up 20% for the month, so you're up 90% for the last 3.5 months, aren't you?
Yes. I've been doing quite consistent for my own account.
Hey, you're enjoying that, eh?
Yeah. Depends on this or to live on.
Cool, mate. Look, we will keep an eye on oil. Well, thank you for your coverage. We will come back to you next week to hear some more. Thanks for joining us today. And if you want to join on some of the other discussions, mate, you're welcome to join in. Now, Lloyd, are you with us for some relative currency strengths?
Yep, I'm around.
Index analysis.
All right, so I'm around. Let me grab the screen.
Cheers.
Right, so there are some changes to last week's currency analysis, and I'll be updating you. Euro, I'll still be bullish about Euro. it's still in the middle of the uptrend, so I don't think I got anything much to change about that. Although last week I sort of expected euro to test the horizontal level, it did not. Yeah, so you can see that according to the MACD histogram, the weakening of the euro is over, so it's actually gaining strength from now. So in that case, in this current scenario, barring any major accident, I think euro will be on its merry way to 120.
So the MACD histogram here is showing strength in the euro coming out of weakness and towards strength, right? And you're looking for euro is your strongest at this point, is it?
Yeah, correct. So it's at the top of my list. I'll be looking for opportunities to long euro.
Okay.
Now, Swiss, again, last week, it didn't quite retrace back to the horizontal level, which is okay. I mean, to me, because as long as it's in an uptrend, even if it did not retrace back to horizontal level, as long as I did see signs of it exiting the weakening phase, I'll still be looking for opportunities to long. Now, the reason Swiss is below euro is that because it's very near a horizontal level, 110. Yeah. So whenever price is near a horizontal level, I'll be quite wary of it. Now, the good thing about Swiss for this point is that this is not the first touch of this horizontal level. Yeah, so I don't. By this time, it's actually the third touch, and in fact, we got a higher low. Yeah, so I'm actually still rather optimistic about Swiss at this point of time. So let's hope that it breaks this level, and then I'll still be longing it. Now, Canadian is the one that caught me by surprise. Yeah, I mean, truth to be told, out of technical, I actually expected CAD to actually break the trend line. In fact, it did not. So the moment it broke above 75, I was quite happy. Yeah. So that means it gave me opportunity to long CAD. So that means actually for this, at this current moment, I will just remove my trend line. It is no longer relevant for me already. I place more emphasis on the horizontal level, whole number, more than above anything else. Yeah, so you can see that price exited, it's gained strength. So at this stage, the logical suspicion is that price might actually retrace back to 75 and then carry on its merry way. Yeah. So the euro, Swiss, and CAD, I will still be pretty bullish about this three. Aussie is the one that last week I've mentioned. It should still be in between these two levels, 72 and 70. Yeah. So again, the price didn't really show any significant movement. Not going to be talking much about it. Now, again, I'll repeat. Euro, Swiss, and CAD, I'll be bullish. Aussie and Pound, this two is the one whereby I'm rather unsure at the moment. That's why it's in the middle. Yeah. So you can see that Pound is hugging 130 quite tightly. It didn't really give us any significant movement. Yeah. So in fact, if you can just mind map a box out, price is still within quite a pretty tight range. Yeah. So at this stage, I'm hoping for more of a breakout trades if there's any pound setup. Yeah, I'm not going for any retracement trades at the moment for any pound pairs. Yen is weakening. Yeah, so it broke the tight range, price broke down, come back. This is a very nice retest. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for any bearish price actions, then I'll still be shorting yen. Yeah, so on a bigger picture, yen is actually on a very wide range. So at this stage, it didn't break 95, give me a lower high, break the horizontal level. So the logical pathway, I suspect that it might go is all the way down to 90. Yeah, so it has a pretty good potential to do that. Now the keyword for here to me is being potential. Yeah, until price move, I can't be sure. Yeah, so this is only what I suspect. Dollar again, still pretty bearish about dollar all the way. So you can see that price didn't actually come back and touch 95. I think I have horizontal level here last week. Remove it already. Yeah, so you can see that it strengthens all the way. Now it's weakening already, which I'm happy to see that. Yeah. So Kiwi again is weakening. So price is actually coming down to 65 fast. Yeah. So now I'm just going to go through one trade which I had last week. So that will actually be Kiwi Swiss. Yeah, so according to my analysis, Kiwi is weakening, and last week Swiss is going to be strengthened. So just going to walk you all through how I actually pick some of my trades. So 10 August, you can see that on the 10 August, price is actually weakening. That's on this bar over here. And when I look at the Swiss, let's go to horizontal level, over here on the 12th, price is actually strengthening, exiting the weakening phase. So it's gaining strength. Yeah. So that means when I see that on the actual currency chart, I'll be looking for opportunities to short Kiwi Swiss. And that's what I did. That's Kiwi Swiss H4 chart. So over here, you can see that I got my opportunity here on the 12th. That's on the 8 o'clock. So that means it's 1 p.m. Singapore time. So on the actual chart, I got a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I can't actually place any trade at the pivot. It's really too messy for me. Yeah. So I got the opportunity when price actually broke this horizontal level. It's a pretty strong break and actually closes below weekly support 1, S1 area. Yeah. So this is a very, very bearish close for me, and that's where I actually put in a short trade. So this is still live on this trade. Got my TP1. So that's actually how I picked some of my trades when I look at the currency indices.
We're still seeing your Swiss franc currency index chart.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Forgot to switch. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. There you go. Looks a lot better there, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so I'll put in, repeat again. I got my lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. At the pivot, I can't really place any trade. It's too messy here. Anyway, I don't trade on Mondays. Yeah, so by the time when Tuesday comes, when I see this kind of thing, I usually will stay out, especially when there's a very clear horizontal level. When this bar came, it rejected the horizontal level, which is fine, because I'm looking for short. And then the following bar, which is happened at 1 p.m., this is a really bearish close of the horizontal level, and it closes below S1 area. This is the S1 line. So that's my signal to actually go short. Hit my TP1, and I'm still live in this trade.
Nice, mate. Really nice. And you've got this because of your currency strength index, right?
Yeah. So this is how I actually merge the analysis and trying to look for trades on the actual charts itself.
Nice, mate.
Yeah. So,
appreciate the currency index analysis, Lloyd. I think it's really interesting to find some different stuff and you know, to talk about how we use it. And I find it quite interesting. I'm obviously in the show. I'm in and out of the show a little bit because we've got a lot going on while I'm hosting it, but I do try and watch as much as I can because I do find it really interesting. We'll be looking at some more in the coming weeks as you use it more and more. Nice to see it being put to use and doing reasonably well. Mate, we are going to nothing else from you, Lloyd?
That's the. We're going to chip in something. No, I think that's the end for me. Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
What are you going to chip in on, mate? You're going to chip in on euro dollar or dollar yen?
I think it was euro. Just now I was having a look on euro. Because you all were talking about euro dollar. So on my currency indices, just going to warn you all that euro is on the currency indices itself. Euro is on a very, very strong horizontal level at 120. So you can see from the past, it actually bounces once, twice, broke, fake out. Price is actually coming to 120 again. Yeah. So for such a strong level, I would caution anybody who trades euro long at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I simply can't ignore this level when it's just
a little bit of space to it, right? I think Paul and Alexis are both calling in for it to get there, and Geoff and I are both wondering. That's one of the things where price will unfold this a bit for us on Monday, I think. But I think Paul and Alexis are looking for it to get to 120, and Geoff and I are wondering whether we'll put a lower high here and turn just before 120. It's got a little bit of space to go, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of space. Not that much. But I guess for anybody who trades this to get to TP1, will still be you will still have enough space to get there. But beyond that, I would say place some caution really.
It's one of those things, isn't it? The stronger the horizontal level for mine, the more chance of it bouncing, and if it doesn't bounce, the stronger the break will be. So getting there with TP1 and the risk off is not a bad place to be, right? You can take the lot there, or you can just see if it does go. I personally would take it all off there. I wouldn't take the upside of 120 on the euro right now, but plenty will. I have a feeling with the way the market is, it's certainly viable. Cheers, mate. Let's see if we can get to Geoff and whether we can get a little more audio than last time, Geoff. Geoff, are we going to do this with me doing charts or you doing charts?
Yeah, even half-wise to try and stream my chart. Let's go to yours, huh?
Okay, mate. Let's go to mine.
EuroCAD Weekly is the one I need to.
Just hang on for a second for me, Geoff, if you don't mind. I'm just going to try and jump out of here and
See.
what I'll do.
Sure.
I'm on my Surface Pro. And what I'll do is I'll open my IFS charts because that's what you're working off, right?
Yes, mate.
If I can, means I can just be on the same thing as you, mate. And I think that's probably
Good idea.
a good idea. There we go. IFS share. My screening should be back, and what I'll do, I'll just clear that away. You're looking for EuroCAD?
Yep, weekly chart.
EuroCAD. Let me find my E's. Euro Yen, Euro NZ, EuroCAD, EuroCAD. I'm just going to, for now, this control panel, whenever I try and change, this gets in the way. I'll go to a blank chart for now, unless you want anything particular on there. We're going to go into a weekly chart of EuroCAD. There we go, buddy.
No, it's pretty clear. Yep.
Ikey, right?
That's the one.
Okay, what shall I do?
I can see Aussie Kiwi. Oh, there we go. Right. Well, I don't have to look much further than what I'm seeing on that chart, really. And those big rabbit ears that you see there, I'm going to be looking for as a.
Mate, I think you're talking about, I can't hear much at all, mate. You're in and out a lot, but I think you're talking about this and calling it the rabbit ears.
A catalyst for a short. If you go,
this looks like the it's like the big smiley face, isn't it? This looks like a big smiley face emoticon. This does. So what are you saying? We've got the two highs here. What are you saying next, Geoff?
I'm saying 142 looks good to me.
Well, I think
because
I really
that
like
will create a Batman mask.
I just don't muck around, do they? You're looking for it down here?
Yep.
Well, that's a big move, mate. If you're getting that right, there's some money in that. I like the fact our guys like to pick out some decent targets, and 142 is a decent target on that. So, mate, are you looking for any particular way to get short?
Look, I think we need to get back below in the high you've got on the 16th of December 2018 would be good. I think we need to get below that, then retest it.
So, mate, you want to get below this high? I'm just going to see, do I have a trend line range?
No, sorry. The high on about the 25th November, which incidentally is my birthday, 2018. That's not my birthday.
2017, 2018, November here, and you get
there,
below
that high. If we got below there and we're able to retest it, I think
so
that's
what we're
pretty
really
good, pretty good entry for us.
Through here, get back up to here, and then we will just take a nice quiet ride down to here. Got it, like it. Mate, you've gone again.
And that's the plan, 3 years. Now, my group's already in this trade, I've got to say, but it's coming back at us pretty fast. We traded this pretty much off the top, and we've taken profit twice on this, but our stops, which are at entry, are.
Mate, I'm sorry, mate. We just
with that pullback bar on Friday.
We are missing you.
Not happening, is it?
No, it's pretty tough. I don't think we can do it, mate. I think we have to put it off till next week. Mate, I want to talk about a couple of other things before we do wrap up today. I'm going to come back to you on a couple of things. I'm going to thank the team. Remember, guys, Trader Andrew was in from 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, the newest addition to Action's 12th team. He'll be in on Saturday live and free for an hour for Actions to Wealth clients only. As I say, we'll be live on YouTube from 8 till 9 Monday to Thursday this week as well. So lots coming up. Getting a lot of inquiries still about the Fusion account offer and that sort of still floating around. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. Can we try one more, Geoff? Can we try one more?
Oh, mate.
I think the answer is no, Geoff. I got the old mate, but I got no more.
Very frustrating, and I apologise for trying. I'm trying. I'm talking. I'm going 100 miles an hour, but nothing seems to be coming out the other end, unfortunately.
Mate, it's we just get patches where you come through really clear and then you're gone.
Yeah. There's not much I can do, mate, except just keep talking. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll briefly say I'm short Aussie CAD. If you have a look at the daily chart.
I had a pretty good look at Aussie CAD this week too. Aussie NZ, Aussie CAD.
This is my bias. I'm not short yet.
Yep. Looking for a short here, mate. Do you have anything you're trying to get underneath?
Yeah, look, it's exactly the same as it was last week. We were, and same with EuroCAD, Aussie CAD, EuroCAD, Euro Aussie actually was my watch list last week as well. I haven't got your chart yet, so we're a long way delayed, which is not surprising.
Yeah, mate. I am waiting for
wonderful internet connection I've got here. Yeah, this is.
Mate, do you have a trade line? You're looking for a test of the trade line or not?
A break and retest of, but way up high. It's a.
Mate, you joining me in the trader chit chat tonight?
So I'll try.
Sorry, mate, we're done. It's it just won't work.
Yeah, my apologies.
Oh, mate, and appreciate the effort for you being here. I know you're doing a bit of stuff at the moment. Appreciate you being in the room. Look, guys, I wanted to, we'll wind her up. I wanted to talk about a couple of things, I think, at the end of the show today. Look, first of all, our apologies for the issues we've had today. Ainslie is away, and we have had issues getting the live stream up and away today. And I'll talk to Tim about that on Monday and try and get it fixed. And also some issues, obviously, with the audio from Geoff. Trying to get more of an interactive show from us and trying to get our guys talking about more stuff as we go through the show. But there's so much disruption at the start of the show, it tends to take me away from being able to do that. So we'll continue to try and do that next. But we're back at 5:15 Singapore, 9:15 New Zealand next week. We will be well into the same sort of stuff. We'll have many of the same people in. I'm trying to remember who's in next week after PH. I'm just scrolling back up through my chat to try and find that for you guys. But I can't find it, which would just be. Found it earlier today, no trouble at all, but so we've got PH, we have got Ash next week and Orlando the week after. A big couple of weeks, guys. Great to have Paul Hutton in again today. He is due again in on the 20th of September. We tend to have Julian in on the second week of the month and Ash on the fourth week of the month, and the rest of the team tend to wander in and help us out as they can do. I have to say how good the team are about turning up and sharing their stuff on the show. We continue to look for ways to get a bit more discussion and make it a bit clearer for you guys. I did have a guy ask us about Aussie, and I was going to have a quick look at that before I wind it up, and I'll just see if I can bring that up. Look, I think it's always the same, right? That Aussie yen is, depending on how you talk about these things, you can call that a horizontal level or you can call that a bit of a horizontal zone, right? And then, these things are both pretty common nowadays. We do a lot more, I guess this zone thing has become a lot more common in the last period of time. I think you can use either. I think that's fine. I'll say the same thing. Look, I think what you're looking here as far as direction goes is to let the price action speak to you. Right now, I would say we have an ascending triangle. Right, and that ascending triangles would normally break somewhere around 2/3 of the way in, somewhere around here. and you'll be looking for a move long. Now, be waiting for that, and what you could be doing perhaps is buying this area here and trying to get a pop up to there, but not much in that, or waiting for a break and a retest. I wouldn't be trading into this line because of that. And the reason I wouldn't be trading into this line is because while I've got an ascending triangle, what I've also got that would be very much on my mind is I've got double top, slightly lower high. And I know it's only slightly lower, but it would just be on my mind here that, look, if this thing ends out down here, people are going to go, look, high, high, lower, high. Of course it was going down here. And if this thing goes through here, people are going to go, it's ascending high, triangle. Of course it's broken at the top. I don't think it's clear until it does this. I think you've got to wait for a break and a retest and a move there, or you've got to wait for this low to be established and taken at the bottom, and maybe even then a break of the triangle, a retest and a move back down through here. So my thing on Aussie yen is that I'd be being patient. It's really tempting to get into. Look, there's a real difference. Talked to Julian earlier on about the greatest way of trading. You know, which one? You get a small position at the bottom, and then you take the high low, and you get a full position. It's a great way to trade, but this isn't clear like that. So for mine, you're waiting here for clarity, and again, break, retest, go, good as gold. Break, retest, go, good as gold. And the triangle and the trend line retest are always a bit messy because what will happen is it'll break. The danger is that when it retests, it actually puts in a higher high because you're coming from here, and it can look quite weird that it pops up there and it doesn't just come to here. But there's your real high. If you get that move there, then I think you are looking for this to put in a decent leg back down. I'll be looking for that to get down at least to these levels here, and maybe down to the sort of area through here. So a bit of potential on the downside for it, for mine if it goes. But the key to it really is to just let it unfold.
Paul, can I just jump in on the Aussie yen?
Yeah, definitely.
Just for 30 seconds. As you know, I analysed the Kiwi yen earlier, and if look right now, a lot of people have been trading the Aussie Kiwi long, and they've been smashing it. And the Aussie Kiwi's probably got about 50 pips more upside until it gets to 110. And I reckon when the Aussie Kiwi gets to 110, then I think people can start to maybe take a bit more of a bearish bias on Aussie pairs. But until that happens, the Aussie has been one of the stronger currencies. So, whilst it's had a good run up, maybe it's got limited upside, but the downside trade on the Aussie pairs is not there just yet.
Okay, I like it, PH. So you are still at this stage for the Aussie yen. You are expecting really to see this level broken.
Yeah, I'm not a bull and I'm not a bear right now. I'm like you. I'm like in a wait and see mode. But if we get a false breakout at 76.70, then I think that the downside is a bit higher. The downside probability is a bit higher. But a lot depends on what happens with the yen over the next week or so, and the Aussie. Aussie is still pretty strong.
Because I want to talk about something at the moment, and it's one of these things about being forex traders. My experience is that traders always find something to complain about, but if you've got a market doing that, you should be making some money, right? There's enough there, and look, there's a decent pullback there, but if you've got a market doing that, you should be making some money. And there's plenty of stuff doing plenty of stuff right now. And look, the one thing we need as traders is volatility. And when we get it, everyone goes, oh, it's doing too much and da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. But truly, markets right now are doing a little bit, and we want to enjoy that. Boy, a link into it. There's been an opportunity or two in there. A bit more messy in there. But there have been some opportunities to get into some of this stuff and to make some, there's been some moves around, some chances to get into some markets. And I think it's really important as forex traders that we don't get so distracted by gold that we forget what we do for a living. There's been some opportunities, guys. They are not, they're not hidden. The direction was already pretty clearly established, and they've been nice extension legs. And really, as forex traders, we do want to be cleaning these up. If we get a chance to clean these up, we do want to be cleaning these up. Should be able to make $1 in there somewhere. Should have worked out somewhere on this move up. We were long on the euro and had a little crack at her. Not so much through there. Anything else, PH?
No, just I'm pretty much with you on the Aussie yen, mate.
Cheers, mate. Okay, guys, we are going to wind her up. Thank you guys very much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And so it's been a bit of a scrappy show. I do want to again just send out our congratulations to Wen Long and Rob for the birth of their children this week. It's always nice when people are around the team are having good news. So congratulations, guys. Enjoy it as much as you can enjoy those first 6 weeks as a dad. It's going to be a lot of mum time in there and a lot of lack of sleep for you boys and a few nappies along the way. Enjoy it. They're good times, really, guys. And to the rest of you guys, trade cautiously. Make good decisions this week. It's a week where I think we might have to do a bit of waiting this week for opportunities to get clearer. I think if we do that, if we wait and let things get clear, maybe some pretty good trading as the week unfolds. And aren't we lucky, guys? In this show in the last few months, we've had Ainsley come in and give us some great reads on gold. Julian today to pick that up and do a little bit more. The likes of Paul Hutton comes in and provides, really accurate analysis. Alexis with the fundamentals earlier. I'm sorry I did miss part of that stuff as you were setting up because I was in the trying to get the stream stuff sorted out. Ping Knee up 90% on oil, coming and sharing what he's doing with us. It's pretty amazing, really, isn't it? When you have them both there, when you have Ainsley up $350,000 this year and Ping Knee up 90%, coming in with full-time investors like Lloyd and strategy leaders like Paul Hutton, we're in a good place. It's an amazing show. And Geoff, don't forget Geoff. The breakdown or not, the most consistent trader I've seen over the last 2 or 3 years. Just sensational effort what him and Ash do. So I'm looking forward next week to having Ash join us. Join us 8 till 9 p.m. Singapore for the rest of the Monday to Thursday for the new shows. Have a look at Tea and Hot Sauce with Chloe and Orlando. Have a look at Ash and Geoff 8:30 to 9. That is a tremendously popular show, though, what those boys are doing together. We look forward to seeing you during the week. I'll be popping in Monday to have a look at the shows. And we'll see you Saturday with Trader Andrew, the new addition to the family. If you have any questions, reach out and let us know. In the meantime, guys, trade well. See you later.
Bye, everyone.